And welcome everyone to the world of Semstar online classes. I am Shubham Chopra, social science teacher. Students, I am back with the second part of your chapter, that is People as Resource of Economics for class 9th. So students, in this video we will be discussing the case studies of two friends, that is Vilas and Sakal, and we will be able to understand the importance of education and health in our life. We will also be discussing the types of economic activities being carried out by men and women and their classification. So students, starting with the story of Sakal. There were two friends, Vilas and Sakal, living in the same village, Semapur. Sakal was a 12-year-old boy. His mother, Sheila, looked after domestic chores. His father, Bhuta Chaudhary, worked in an agricultural field. Sakal helped his mother in domestic chores. He also looked after his younger brother Jeetu and sister Seetu. His uncle Shyam had passed the matriculation examination, that is till class 10th, but was sitting idle in the house as he had no job. Bhuta and Sheila were eager to teach Sakal. They forced him to join the village school, which he soon joined. He started studying and completed his higher secondary examination. His father persuaded him to continue his studies. He raised a loan for Sakal to study a vocational course in computers. Sakal was meritorious and interested in studies from the beginning. With great vigor and enthusiasm, he completed his course. After some time, he got a job in a private firm. He even designed a new kind of software. This software helped him increase the sale of the firm. His boss acknowledged his services and rewarded him with a promotion. Now, the story of his friend Vilas. Vilas was an 11-year-old boy residing in the same village as Sakal. Vilas' father, Mahesh, was a fisherman. His father passed away when he was only 2 years old. His mother, Geeta, sold fish to earn money to feed the family. She bought fish from the landowner's pond and sold it in the nearby mandi. She could earn only rupees 20 to 30 a day by selling fish. Vilas became a patient of arthritis. His mother could not afford to take him to the doctor. He could not go to school either. He was not interested in studies. He helped his mother in cooking and also looked after his younger brother Mohan. After some time, his mother fell sick and there was no one to look after her. There was no one in the family to support them. Vilas too was forced to sell fish in the same village. He, like his mother, earned only a meager income. In the two case studies, we saw Sakal went to school and Vilas did not go. Sakal was physically strong and healthy. There was no need for him to visit the doctor frequently. Vilas was a patient of arthritis. He lacked the means to visit the doctor. Sakal acquired a degree in computer programming. Sakal found a job in a private firm while Vilas continued with the same work as his mother. He earned a meager income like his mother to support a family. In case of Sakal, several years of education added to the quality of labor. This enhanced his total productivity. Total productivity adds to the growth of the economy. This in turn pays an individual through salary or in some other form of his choice. In case of Vilas, there could not be any education or health care in the early part of his life. He spent his life selling fish like his mother. Henceforth, he draws the same salary of unskilled labor as his mother. So, students, investment in human resource through education and medical care can give high rates of return in the future. This investment on people is the same as investment in land and capital. One invests in shares and bonds expecting a higher return in the future. So, students, with the case study of these two friends, we have now understood the importance of education, better health facilities, and skills in our life. We have seen the two contrasting stories or life of the two friends. On one hand, we have got Sakal, who has acquired education and he has got better health facilities early in his life. Because of that, now he has got a better standard of living, higher income, better productivity. On the other hand, his friend Vilas is has continued the occupation of his mother, that is selling fish. He remained uneducated and he haven't got education and better health facilities early in his life, and because of that reason he is still earning a meager income, that means a very less or little income for himself, and is also facing health problems. So students, we should now understand the importance of education in our life and health as well. So with the better education and health facilities, we will be able to increase our productivity, we will be able to have better standards of living, higher incomes in the future. Now students, we will be understanding the importance of human resources. That is, countries like Japan have invested in human resource. They did not have any natural resource. These countries are developed, rich countries. They import the natural resource needed in their country. How did they become rich and developed? Now this question arises. They have invested on people, especially in the field of education and health. Now these people have made efficient use of other resources like land and capital. Efficiency and the technology evolved by people have made these countries rich and developed. So students, we have seen Japan and we know about the land of rising sun. Japan is one of the most developed nations of the world. Now how Japan became one of the developed nations even though they have got scarcity of natural resources? Now they are able to develop themselves because they have invest hugely in the education, health and better training for their population. That is, they believe in creation of human resources. So because of the better and advanced human resources, they are able to make themselves developed and rich. Now students, we will be discussing the economic activities carried out by men and women. Like Vilas and Sakal, people have been engaged in various activities. We saw that Vilas sold fish and Sakal got a job in a firm. The various activities have been classified into three main sectors, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. So first we will be studying or discussing primary sector. Now based on the picture, can you classify these activities into three sectors? Now at the top of this picture we can see a farmer with a tractor plowing the field. Now this activity is termed as a primary activity. Why? I'll be telling you ahead. Second, we can see the picture. Below that we can see the picture of a factory where the production activity is going around. Now this activity comes under the category of secondary activity, and the picture at the bottom is showing that a shipyard is carrying goods. A ship is carrying goods to shipyard. Now this activity is here that they are providing certain kind of services. Now this comes under the tertiary sector. We will be discussing these three sectors one by one. Now first, primary sector. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry farming, mining and quarrying. So primary activity basically involves those activities in which people are involved in the production of raw materials. That means an activity where people are involved in producing the basic products which are further utilized in the secondary sectors for and converting them into finished products. Now examples such as agriculture. In agriculture, farmers are producing crops. Then we have got forestry, means the farmers and the people engaged in forestry activities are involved in production of herbs, wood, and other plant products. Animal husbandry, here the people are producing animal products. Then fishing, poultry farming, and quarrying means extracting minerals from the earth. Now the secondary activities. Manufacturing is included in the secondary sector. Trade. Now manufacturing means converting raw materials which are produced in the primary sector into finished products. This activity comes under the heading secondary activities, means converting raw material into finished products in factories. These activities are considered as secondary activities. Now, talking about trade, that means exchange of goods and services, transport, communication, banking, education, health, tourism, services, insurance, etc., are included in the tertiary sectors. So, the activity in this sector result in the production of goods and services. These activities add value to the national income. These activities are called economic activities. Economic activities have two parts, that is, market activities and non market activities. Market activities involve remuneration to anyone who performs, that is, activity performed for pay or profit. Now, these include production of goods or services, including government service. Non market activities are the production for self consumption. Now, these can be consumption and processing of primary product and own account production of fixed assets. Now, due to historical and cultural reasons, there is a division of labor between men and women. So here we are discussing about the division of labor between the men and women in the family. Women generally look after domestic chores and men work in the fields. Sakal's mother Sheila cooks food, cleans utensils, washes clothes, cleans the house and look after her children. Sakal's father Bhuta cultivates the field, sells the produce in the market and earns money for the family. So here Sheila is not paid for the services delivered for upbringing of the family. Bhuta earns money for his work, which he spends on rearing his family. Women are not paid for their service delivered in the family. The household work done by women is not recognized in the national income. Now, talking about the mother of Vilas, Geeta, she earned an income by selling fish. Thus, women are paid for their work when they enter the labor market. Their earning, like that of their male counterpart, is determined on the basis of education and skill. Education helps individual to make better use of the economic opportunities available before him or her. Education and skill are the major determinants of the earning of any individual in the market. So students, now we will be discussing about the quality of a population. Now, what is quality of a population? That is, quality of population depends upon the literacy rate, health of a person indicated by life expectancy and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. The quality of the population ultimately decides the growth rate of the country. Illiterate and unhealthy population are a liability for the economy. literate and healthy population are an asset. So now we have understood that how the quality of population can be improved. Obviously, it can be improved by providing better education, better health facilities, and by training them, by providing them skills. If the population is literate, that means that population will be more productive, and health of a person is also going to be improved with better health facilities provided to them, and their life expectancy will increase. Now, what is life expectancy? Life expectancy means the number of years a person is likely to live. Then skill formation also help him become more skilled and become more productive. So students, in the next we will be discussing about the two most important factors, that is education and health, which are the two most important factors for the creation of human resource. And we will also be discussing about the meaning of unemployment, types of unemployment, and the unemployment status in India. Till then, keep learning, keep watching.